So I get to tell the story of how he met me. Anyway, last time Ian finished with me at the drums and realizing that he thought we were friends. I legitimately was not super excited about that. He was a little weird. I mean, guys, so at school we had a dress code at college. But when we were not at school, Ian's dress code was very interesting. I distinctly remember Mario bed pants with like khaki shorts over them. A metal band graphic tee and a camel colored leather jacket that he had thrifted, and a do-rag that had anatomically correct cows, or bulls rather, on it. I hated that do-rag of all the things. Anyway, we had the same friend group, and so we would end up inevitably hanging out, which I wasn't super excited with at the beginning, but you know, it's fine. You get over it. And his lack of filter freaked me out because I am a good girl and I didn't understand what anything meant. Like, that's what she said jokes or anything didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Because I was very sheltered of my own, like, I didn't want to know. I just didn't care. Anyway, we were friends in the same friend group, and as the years went by, you know, he matured, and at the same time, he also got a girlfriend, which you would think would be a bad thing, but because I was not looking to date at the time, it was actually great because I felt like, okay, he's got a girlfriend and he's safe. He's not trying to get anything out of this relationship except a friendship. And so we hung out in the same friend group. We would do a lot of like, his house in college was kind of the hangout house. And we would do Super Bowl parties and euchre tournaments, because we're from the Midwest, so we play euchre. Look it up. Watching him play video games was somehow an entertainment thing that would happen where we would just go sit in the basement, like all the friends, and work on homework or whatever while he played video games instead of watching a movie or something. Which is a tradition that our family continues to this day. We will watch, like the girls and I will watch Ian play video games in the evening sometimes for fun. One day, I just had this clear, really strong sense that Ian was supposed to break up with the girlfriend that he had at the time, which I had zero interest in him in that way. So it was not a self-serving thought. And I felt that it was really odd that I felt so strongly suddenly about it. So I was praying with a friend that he would have the courage to kind of see the reality of the relationship and have the courage to break it off. And then the next day at school, he told all of our friend group that he had just broken up with his girlfriend. So he had been basically having the conversation where they broke up while I had this really strong feeling. I had no idea that he was having this conversation. I was across town going to work. So I kind of freaked out when he told us that, because I was like, why did I have this insight about this situation? I don't often have, I'm like, this is so odd. Anyway, and then my second thought was, oh shoot, like, we're really good friends, and now he doesn't have a girlfriend. So I don't know. I just hope that this can continue to be platonic from his side. Anyway, hopefully that was rather self-serving maybe, but anyway, about a week later, it started to become really obvious to me that he liked me. I had never dated anyone. I was 22, 23 at the time. And I just didn't have time for that nonsense. I didn't like the thought of dating just for fun. And so I could feel the emotional tension in our relationship, because he was trying to figure out how he felt. It was really clear to me how he felt, but I didn't feel the same. Like, I really enjoyed him at this point, and I felt like we were really good friends. I loved hanging out. I felt like I could trust him, and he had been a really good friend to me. But I wasn't sure that I liked him. And so it got to the point where I was just trying to avoid him, because it was getting to be so weird and uncomfortable, like how clearly he liked me. And so finally there was this week. Also, I was so busy at the time. I was on like student government at our college and working myself through college and had college classes, and I was living with 6 other girls at the time. He eventually asked me out for coffee, and it was kind of a movie when he asked me out for coffee, like those scenes where like they're trying to get through like a crowded railway station or something to their intended, and just like everyone's in the way and they're bumping it. Anyway, it was basically like that. Like, I remember we were in a lecture hall. I had been also TAing for one of my professors, and so I was kind of surrounded by all these students who were asking me these questions about projects that they had to do for class, and he kept trying to like talk to me, but every time he would like try to walk toward me, someone would walk in front of him and start talking to him, or walk in front of me and start talking to me, and eventually he just kind of like sideswiped the person in front of me out of the way and was like, we need to go get coffee. And I was like, yes, because I would much rather talk it out and like have it out in the open, and we can discuss it, than have like these feelings in the background. So we went out for coffee. It was really cute. He was like shaking his coffee, which may just mean that he had had too much coffee, which is not outside the realm of possibility for him. Just was really sweetly telling me all the things that he really liked about me. And we're both believers, and so he was just bringing out these really sweet passages of scripture and just telling me how he thought I emulated this like basically perfect woman, which I am not, but it's hard to convince him of. Anyway, and then some guy friends from school, and more acquaintances than friends, really didn't pick up on the vibe that we were like on a date, and came and sat right next to us while shortly after Ian had kind of laid out everything. But the thing I didn't mention is, so he sweetly told me all this stuff, and then as he's having this conversation with me, he says, you know, and I've dated other girls before, and I was serious about those relationships, but they just didn't work out. The next girl I date, I want to marry. Will you go out with me? I had never dated anyone. Anyway, these guys come sit next to us, and I'm just kind of like trying to formulate thoughts of like, I don't know what I even think about this, because I really enjoy you as a person, but I don't know if our relationship can make that jump into relationship. And I had previously just seen a friend, a guy friend who had kind of asked a girl out, and she hadn't intended to lead him on necessarily, but had kind of said, yeah, we can try. But he was like all in, and she was not. And I saw how like hurtful that was, and I was like, I just don't want to do that. And I know that Ian's like all in, but I don't know if I am. And then I had to leave for work before I could really give him an answer. So I told him I would tell him in the morning. So the next morning I went to him, and I, gave him the nice compliment sandwich of, I really felt honored by how you asked me out, but I can't go out with you, and I hope we can still be friends. And yeah. He responded very graciously, which was very kind of him. He didn't freak out at me or anything. And yeah.